Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us exploring some abandoned history in Scotland here, and today we're joined by the channel DJ once again. And today we've come to the town of Blairgowrie, which is, I think it's Perthshire, isn't it? And this has got some incredible history with old like mills and stuff like that. And we're going to look at some of the old history with these mills and see if there's old sluice gates and other crazy mechanisms of history, folks. So yeah, we're just kind of pathfinding a way down here. Here, I think we could go along by the river, but I think we're going to have to pick a route. It looks pretty crazy, folks, the route we're going to have to go here, but yeah, the adventure is real once again. So I'll update you once we're down here. Look at this, folks, this is crazy. There's a massive sluice gate. This must be one of the places that fed the mill. Wow. Look at this, folks, there's a massive ancient construction right here. Look at that, that's crazy. Check the size of those big gears. And just look at that river scene right there. There's so much construction at the other side. It's insane, it's like more sluice gates and mechanisms. And look, there's a bridge over there. Some people having a picnic at the other side as well. Shout out, folks. Such a cool spot this. We're going to keep on heading up. Looks like there's a couple of buildings just round the corner. But see this, the sluice is going that way, so it's like there's a building down there potentially that used the water as well. Because I think in the town of Blairgowrie there's a lot more sluices as well. There's just stuff like that all over this place. Crazy history, folks. Look at this, folks. This is the first industrial looking building that we've come to on the riverside. And it looks like it's had a recent fire or something inside the structure. Wow. Yeah. That's crazy, folks. Check this out. Wow. I wouldn't be... We'll go down to the river's edge. Check this out, folks, some crazy buildings. Like all explorers, we didn't go like breaking into places if they're not open. We'll just document the history we can see. And some of this mill structures and stuff, so cool to see before they're torn down or before the history is lost forever. Yeah, this whole bit here has been channeled out at one time. Maybe for people walking to the work at the mill. It's a crazy scene, folks. We're just literally pathfinding our way around places like this. Right, folks, we've now made it down into this complex, and look how high that wall is. It's crazy. And these buildings were obviously mill related at one time, but again, now they could be private. Check this out, folks, it's been 4 stories high and it's recently had a fire, I think. There's warning signs to keep out and stuff, and we never enter buildings like that if it's, again, obviously a dangerous structure. Check this, there's been some crazy mill equipment here at one time. Nowadays a lot of it's been tagged up with spray paint and stuff. So that's how it sort of shows it's in its last years of existence. Look at these big chunks which has been dumped for somewhere. Massive structure, folks. And look how high it is up there. This side here looks like the fire's ravaged it, but down the stairs in the house, the wood's still on the windows. And then the river's right there, which must have fed it from like leads or something. This is so cool, folks. It's always amazing to find new places, and the little details of the history when you come to a place like this is so cool. Look at this old light up here. And then check this out, how the water's been coming out of the mill at this point. Oh look, big parts down there. They've now been thrown out of a window. So I think this looks like it's been recently on fire. This building behind this, folks. And just check out the detail of this. It's like a massive beam. Wow, what a scene here. This lead must have just gone back into the river. So there must be equipment in here which took the power from the water. And then there's been a wooden beam to there for accessing this door. There must have been a little platform. But I think this massive beam across here has been supporting that end building there, which is a wooden structure built on the end of the stone building. But also an interesting fact, this other outer buildings that we saw originally when we came in here, they are different construction to these old buildings. So this will be the oldest mill behind us, built out of the stone, with old lead coming under. It's probably full of silt and mud and stuff like that now. Wow, it always blows my mind when we find stuff like this. See, at one time, look, it must have been painted with white around the door or around the window. Crazy mills, folks. Again, it's always unexplained. Some of the history we find is like unreal. And like every year it decays more and more and falls down, and its history, it's just a bit lost. I say it in a lot of videos, but it is true. There's so many spider webs today, like hanging from the trees and stuff. Check this foot. I just found an artefact of history here, folks. Look at this. An ancient wheel assembly for maybe some like little cart or something that they were rolling about at the mill. Or maybe some mill equipment. They often used flat belts and stuff. So interesting to see stuff like that. It's always cool if it's still in its original position though. And that building has been huge. But I can see from the black stains above the windows it's been a ferocious fire. And it looks like it's been in the last couple of years. So the structure now just looks unsafe. But we'll take a walk around the perimeter of it and just see what history we can see. At one time there must have been an original approach. Oh, look at this! Here's an interesting artefact of history right here, folks. Look, there's a massive fan here, double fan. Wow, this is so crazy. We just about missed this. Look at these double fans here, what? That's crazy. There's like a marking on there. I'll try and record it because it looks like it is upside down. Don't know how well it'll come out on the video. There's so many spiky bushes, folks, I can't actually see that with my eyes. But maybe if you pause the video you can read stuff like that. Oh, I'm getting tied up in these bushes. It's insane. Look at this with the fans inside it, an intake. What a crazy thing to find. That's the sort of wee things that we love. The character of an abandoned site like this is just amazing. So let's continue this journey around here, folks, and see what other artefacts of history there is. Oh, aye. Look at this, folks. Wow. It's got like a big funnel thing. Insane. And it's like cloth pockets coming down there. Like cloth tubes. And then the other bag at the bottom. It's like there's almost actually something under our feet right now. Somewhere else it's going. That's how you have to watch sometimes at mills, because you can fall literally down layers. Check this out, folks, wow. This is the little outside building here, not connected to the main building which has been on fire. And look at this, this will be an asbestos coating here, so I'm careful not to touch it. Look at it, it's like a boiler. Wow. That's insane, that string there that's on it, it's designed so if there's a fire, the string breaks. And then at one time it started sprinkling out of these sprinklers. It was like an automatic fire system of its time. So cool to see stuff like this, folks. Look at that, there's like stuff underneath the glass, like Crane Whitehall it says. And it's like some old furnace door. I'm careful not to touch the asbestos, but look, there's a plate on there. Clyde, Glasgow. Oh, it's an automatic oil burner, folks. That's what this is. And at one time that must have been heating or powering part of this mill. And there you go. Cool bit of history. So let's move on round. There's so much to see, like an old metal funnel. Maybe the old maintenance guy used to come in here and service it. And then at one time, I think it's not so safe now to go up those stairs because the fire looks like it could have weakened a lot of the metal. I'm getting caught in these bushes as we speak, folks. Anyway, let's push around here and see what the Channel DJ's found. What a structure, eh? There's an oil burner in there, automatic. Yeah, massive pulleys on the wall. And look, big girders sticking out. I love the shape of those old lights. Because in the winter here in Scotland, they would have been working into the dark, I'm sure. And check out the small stairs on the side of the wall. So interesting to see stuff like that. And the metal railing. And then look, there's been like a downstairs underneath. That's what I thought from that end. And then the stairs goes up. They must have maintained something there. Or... oh, that's the start of the ladder. I see it, folks. I should have seen that already. There's a lot still here. I think recently though it looks like this has been burnt. It's a shame. Because there would have been so much to see maybe. Yeah, it seems to have been abandoned for a long time. Maybe like 10 years or more. And often when it's near a town as well, it takes less time to get vandalised and burnt down. Yeah, the old window with the little rectangular panes. Oh, you can see the paint through there. Look at this, folks. Look at that old paint, and look at the air duct systems. Wow. There's been some crazy mill history, and it's such a shame we can't see any of that. The old ducts and stuff on the roof, and tons of other unusual things just hanging down. There've been some massive structures. Look at that thin window. It makes me think they've redesigned it, and yeah, they've cut in the middle of that window and they've added this bit on the end of it. Wow, folks, look at that. It's a stone floor in the bottom, but up at the top it's totally... wow, the sun's shining right into the lens. This is crazy, folks. What a scene in a place like this, with the old glass windows and the metal frames. Oh aye, a vintage fire alarm up here, folks, on the wall. This big cast iron thing, Atlas it says on it. And then is this a house up here, maybe a private house? Somebody's got their car parked up at this end. Crazy. Oh aye, there's a big boiler and stuff sitting here. The structures are massive. I think this looks like it could be somebody's private house though at this corner. Do you think we should go around the other side of that building and try and push on up to that big chimney? There's a massive chimney in the distance, folks. And it'd be so cool. That's a cool goal in this video, to stand at the foot of that chimney and see it, document it. Because there's no so many chimneys now as what they used to be. Shout out all the Fred Dibnah fans. He used to be the main man for the chimneys in Britain. Look through this window. Look at the size of those beams and girders. It's such a shame the fire took away all that history just before it was properly videoed. It looks like they've had some proper air conditioning or some sort of fan systems. Maybe there was grain coming through a lot of those pipes. But there's so many pulleys and stuff on the roof up there. Probably doesn't even come out too well on the camera. That's the sort of stuff I would love to record. So that would have been at one time when it was powered from the water. Here, there must be a water wheel somewhere, or a turbine of some sort. Yeah, we're just literally pathfinding our way around the place like this, because we've never explored here in our lives. That certainly looks like somebody's private gate there, I would say, so we'll push back around. What are you saying? Yeah, and they've cut into the window. Yeah. Look at this here, folks. This could be the original red paint of this mill doors. I think all the doors on this mill and stuff have been painted with that colour. Even these ones over here. Some people's been round here graffitiing up the walls. Yeah. It's cool to see details like that, and just imagine a place like this when it was in its prime. Yeah, we're coming back around this path that we first came to climb over this beam. So that's what we're all about on this channel, folks. Pathfinding our way around to the other side of this. See if we can see any evidence of even the water wheel or something down here. That'd be so cool. Look at the size of that towering above us right now. A 4-storey building. 5 stories if you include what's below our feet. This is insane, folks. Exploring. We're exploring everywhere. I can't even believe this. This must have at one time been to support that wooden end building. So look at this for an abandoned scene, folks. I'm wanting to actually record to see what's underneath here. Check this out. Oh, a massive beam. Oh, look, you can see inside a building there. Wow, there's a proper building. I can hardly reach in any further. Must have been a deep water cavern, maybe a water wheel or something. Insane history, folks. But I'm going to have a look and see if we can get along underneath here. Whoa. No way. Well. Yeah. Aye, but that ledge is not the best sort of ledge, like. What does it look like under here? Oh, aye, there's like a river and stuff under there. Yeah, but wouldn't it be so easy along there, would it? The water looks pretty deep there, folks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm right underneath this ancient historical wonder. Insane scenes, folks, once again on the channel. It's mad. Yeah, I don't think that's a very good footing in there. For all you've got to hold on to. Whoa! Look how many bees is up there. I don't know if that comes out of the camera, folks. There's a beehive. I'm bad around water. Right, folks, we've just been looking at this and analysing the situation. I think we're better not to go that way, because it's just a narrow lip to climb onto. I think we would make it holding on to the beam, but I think it's no worth the risk. Because if we do fall into the water, we'll be waist deep. And we're still just at the start of this adventure, folks, really. We've just arrived on site here, and it's crazy. I think we'll try and get round the other side, and that's all we can do. It's good to analyse like all your options and stuff like that though, so you can see the most history. There was no sign of a water wheel or nothing there. Channel DJ's in the old sluice here. It's pretty much full of gravel and like silt, and then there is a couple of abandoned historical wonders just lying, like ruined by the weather. But a site like this just blows my mind because of the size of it, and it's cool to video it before it falls down. all the years I've been doing the YouTube videos, I've never been to this site to record it, and maybe I should have come sooner, because there's just hardly any of it left. There's a way back along this way, so check this out, folks. I'm on the beam. It's all about the adventure sometimes when you come to a place like this. Crazy wild Scottish landscape, folks. It's like the wild landscapes of Blairgowrie this week. It's just, the scenes are just incredible.
This would have been a water.
Yeah, look, there's a big pipe coming out up there. Oh, an old sluice or something like that. Check that out, folks. There's an old opening there under the building. The sun's not at a very good angle on a day like this because of the winter conditions we're in. So there's often shadows and stuff. Try to look in there, there's no other way to document that. Yeah, this would have been a good passage of water flowing through here. I'm going to get a photo of this for here. Yeah, so we're going to leave this big complex of buildings here, folks, and we're going to try and head round the other side, passing by that gate and stuff like that. Because there's a cool little bit here just at the water side. You can see how high the river's been in the storms. It's been way up to there, above my head. Just climb around here. This is crazy, folks. It's literally the unbeaten path. We're just making our way around the wild land of Scotland here, exploring, just to see an ancient structure like that. Look at this, the river here just looks so cool. There's a bridge and stuff over there. It's the craziest scenes out here, folks. The River Ericht. I think the River Ericht is a good one for fishing and stuff like that. And look, the bedrock's right here. That could be why they've built the mill and that there. It could be good strong ground. And then they had the river for powering it all. There's somebody's boat. Wow. Crazy scenes right here, folks. Anyway, I'll update you once we see something cool. We're going to head right up here and right around, so I'll update you. The water's super calm here. It looks pretty deep. It's a crazy spot. Look at this, folks. We've just come down the Westfield fruit farm, it's called, but it seems to be this road that takes us in the direction of that big chimney. And that's what we're looking for in this video. So cool to document this. If it's a huge chimney stack, that's really what I want to see. It's so epic. But this just looks like a massive fruit farm here. So hopefully we can see the chimney stack once we walk further around here. Oh, there it is, look. Crazy, folks. We'll have to negotiate, see if there's, like, we don't want to be on somebody's private land. We might have to come up the riverside. Everything's an option, folks, but I want to see the chimney for sure. This landscape's crazy. Butterflies and stuff flying by. So these buildings further along, folks, look, they've got the same red doors as the mill. So I'm just thinking this could have all been buildings connected to that massive mill site that we saw. Obviously now a lot of it will be private land and stuff like that, so we'll always come with the greatest respects. We're just heading around this little road to see if we can get to this chimney. But look, this little corner building here looks like some old abandoned. Maybe they had stores and stuff like that for their grain back in the days. Massive old steel doors. What an incredible landscape, folks. Wow. Oh, an old cellar. Kind of like door bitty. It's like something off a horror film. Look at this, folks. There's been some sort of like underground, maybe for them filling grain and stuff like that. It's hard to even see what's going on in there. It's the abandoned history we're into, though, folks. If that's somebody's private shed and stuff, we're not interested in what they've got in there. It's all just about the old structures and the old mechanisms which turned from like water wheels and stuff like that. Probably from the 17 and 1800s. Probably in the 1900s. This was a booming area for mills and stuff like that. Crazy area here, folks. This is the direction here where the chimney is, so I'm just keeping this camera on, folks. You're on this adventure with me. Look at this, there's old barrels in here. Wow, the sun's not at a good angle, folks, but you can see there, look. What do they say on them? Thompson Westfields, Blairgowrie. Yeah, crazy. Old structures, folks. Abandoned history. Once again, the sun's shining right down, creating a horrible shadow. And often when you're trying to record, then that round's the perfect shot. Look at the size of these old wooden doors and stuff here, folks. Check out this gate. Hopefully we can make it down the side of this river. Wow, the stone steps are so ancient with the old metal railing. Wow, there's the chimney through there. Wow, folks, this is real history. Right now we've just walked into the heart of history. Check out all this. It's been some sort of sluice, a feed for the sluice gates. It's been a waterway. Yeah, the water must have gone in there and then dropped in. See, there could be water wheels and stuff maybe anywhere up the side here. Yeah, there's been water just feeding around. Oh, look at those gears and stuff down there. Watch you don't fall over the edge of that. This is insane, folks. Just check out the history we're dealing with. I think that'll be safe to walk across, like.
Walk across this.
Yeah. No, instead of this one. Oh, aye, there's a tree and stuff on it. It looks like a cement bridge. It's still a decent structure. That might be the way to go across. But we'll just stay to the edge or whatever. But that's the thing, we could actually just go across through that building. Right enough, instead of risking it. Look, there's a wee ladder there. But it's just going up to that other bit. Which must have been some sort of walkway. Here, there's a drive shaft. I see it now. There's a drive shaft, so there might be... Maybe the water wheel or something's in that shed down there. See that stuff below us? That can be deep as anything. Here, don't I trust that railing either. Crazy scenes, folks. Look, it's got girders here to support it. This has been a hefty structure on top of here. It must have had cement as well on it potentially. Oh, look how deep it is below that metal. I think that's been mounted up above at one time and then it's fallen down into there. There's beams and stuff just going all across. And then this must have been taking debris. So that's how I think the water wheel must have been at this side somewhere. The water drops down extremely wet, like steep there. Yeah. I'm going to climb along here, but then I'm wanting to really record this mechanism. Oh, I know what this is. This here's the sluice. It's been mounted on wood here. And there's been a sluice gate. Look at that, folks. So potentially if they had enough head of water at their water wheel, which I do believe is down there, I think they could have closed the sluice and, or opened the sluice and released it here back to the river. I'm going to try and record down there to see what's there. Check this out, folks. It's insane history right here. I'm trying to get the shots. I'm like literally down here leaning over. What is going on in there? Oh look, there's like a chain mechanism or something in there. I can't lean any further over. Look at this, folks. I'm like over and upside down. Wow. I don't even understand what I was seeing there. But it looks like some sort of like belt driven thing. Oh, it's maybe been screening the water and taking debris out of the water. And it must have been powered from this drive shaft, which is round this corner. Connects between the two buildings. Because in the centre there I can see the shaft. It's a massive hefty unit. Look at this, folks. Oh wow, here we go. This is what we'll have to see. Look at this. Ancient mill history, folks. And that's that. Oh, that is the water wheel. Wow. There you go, folks. That's the water wheel right there. It must be a pretty advanced one. But you can see we're looking at the side of it from here. Wow. That's so insane to see that. See, that'll be super deep, even though it looks like it's got a lot of sediment. And look, this will be the main drive shaft here. That's how it's so hefty. There's been big bearing housings bolted on there, and now they're gone. And I'm literally like up the ladder, folks, in the middle of it. So yeah, let's head on round. So there must have been drive coming to the buildings, maybe both sides from here. But it's not a direct drive from the water wheel, it's got like a gear ratio. Look, there's big things just lying down. There's waterways there and stuff. It must have been if the river was high, it automatically dumped the water past the sluice gate. Check this out, folks. I don't know how strong they are at the other side. I was literally just wanting to come and record this. Oh, look, there's old wooden beams, like a bridge which has been over the top of that. And then look at this drive shaft. Once again you can see that the big bearing assembly is missing. Look, that's been a cap. It's been at the end of it to keep the grease and stuff in. Remnants of history. And this must have been the overflow when the river was high, which is right below me. There's been so much industrial construction around here, it's insane. Look at that, that could be part of it, the bearing housing. Part of an assembly that's been round here. Maybe other mill keepers in the area were taking parts from here after it was shut down. Who would even know, folks? It's cool history. Anyway, folks, we'll head on along here because it's such an adventure. Look, there's pipes and stuff leading down between the buildings. Wow. Oh, they've had scaffolding or maybe a walkway along there. There's a big bit of cement sticking out. And then this is a solid cement bed here in this overflow sluice. You can still see the original shape of it. And the shape of this building from here, folks. Today we are walking through the heart of history once again. Look at this, folks, for a scene of an abandoned wonder. It's so cool. And we're going to go and look because the massive water wheel is down here. And it's just incredible to see. There's been more mills at that side, and look, there's a massive arch where the water's come out below it. The sun's at a poor angle to see that far over there, but some crazy architecture around here, industrial architecture this week. And I can see a mains water pipe crossing the river along there. This is insane, folks. Right here, we're going to see it up close, folks, and this is like one of my favourite things that I've seen this year, which is crazy because look at the size of this. Wow, this has to be the coolest thing that I've seen this year, folks. Look at the size and the construction of this water wheel. Think of the power it had, and look, it's got these gears up the side of it there. Think of the power that had. The water must have been churning through here, and this bit I'm standing on, it would have been deep. Just check it out. I suppose it's not been too deep, but then the water's been feeding it from the top. Oh no, this has been an underslung. See, some water wheels are overshoot and some of them are underslung or something like that. That's maybe not the right terminology, but that's true. Yeah, it looks like the windows are open up there. So yeah, we'll have a look if we can safely. Yeah, that's some crazy bit in there as well. I'm going to have a look at this. Wow, look at this, folks. Look at the size of that metal bit right there. Once again, my shadow's at a poor angle, but inside that room there with the cement floor, they've been dumping something back down there. And then look up there, there's a big cement chute coming out of the wall. Industrial heaven, folks. And it's wild. And right now we'll go for a quick look up here. See, when you get up places like this, you have to remember you have to get back down. I'm going to lay the camera here, folks, so I'll grab it in a minute. Right, we've made it up. Real parkour, folks. If you come here, I wouldn't advise you can try to climb in there. But I want to have a proper look at this. Check this out, folks. This is the water wheel shed we're in right now. And this would have been the main heart of the operation. To the owner of this, we come with the greatest respects. We've literally just come through here. Again, it's wide open. And we want to just document this history for the world to see. Abandoned Scottish industry at its finest. And just look at the size of these gears that's on the side of this. It's like there's one at this side, a massive one, and then there's another one at the other side, and I wonder if it's been different ratios. Wow, the bottom wood down there is actually rotted off. But just check out the detail of this, folks. It says on there, look, Thompson, Brothers and Co. Dundee. So there you go, folks. This has been a Dundee kind of mill. Look, there's drive shafts up on the wall with pulleys and brackets and huge girders. This is insane. Check this out, folks. I'm flabbergasted by the history here. Look at the size of that massive bearing assembly there, which is insane. There's that door. We walked along the side of that building. Wow. Look at the size of this drive shaft. I'm going to have to get my torch on. But I'm being super careful that I don't fall through anything underfoot, which is dangerous, because there's wood there, and I think down the side of that it's just insane danger. But look at this. Right, folks, I've got the torch sorted out now, and I've got my bearings as to what I'm standing on here. It's insane. There's a big drop under there, but look at the size of this. That's literally a drive shaft right there. Turning, this must be like a massive fan or a massive belt housing. And it must be a belt housing, because I can see that it drives across with a pulley up there, and then there's this other thing here. Look, it's got pipes coming out of it. Wow, this sort of history, folks, it's epic. And look at all these gears. This is crazy, folks. Look at this. Oh, they've been able to open and shut this mechanism here. Look, to feed the water wheel with more or less water. And that's the kind of history we're here to document, folks. Like little nuggets like that, who would have known? You can see the mechanism, how it would have lifted up and down. And this is geared to do that. Again, there's a turn hand. You have to be careful, because I think that metal bit's safe, but I don't know about any other corner of it. That is a solid shaft there. Wow, and there's more shafts going into that next building.
That shaft there goes right into the next.
Yeah, check out that, folks. Massive big handle. And the stuff above it, hey, did you ever look up that ladder? Yeah, all this is like a big steel frame built rigid into the building.
Just be careful with the ladder though, eh? It's pretty hard.
Yeah, look at that, folks. There's a deep hole in there. We try and document every like little nugget of history.
That goes through to more gears, eh?
You have to be like a feather, folks. Oh, aye, there's another one of those massive bearing housings. It's just basically the top of the assembly. Insane. What a cool thing to explore, folks. And then check this out. What's in here? Oh, there's more fans and stuff in there. That's crazy. Anyway, folks, we'll leave this in peace. More history documented on the channel, and it's such a variety of things we try and explore. It's super cool. And this week, ancient mill history. And check it out, there's a little flat belt still on there. At one time it would have been on that pulley, and I'm thinking that must be an oil pump here, which at one time would have been oil in the system automatically, just as it turned. So that's a cool little bit of history. I just about missed that. And the massive construction of this water wheel, I can't even exaggerate that to you. It's like mind-blowing history. And even the wee gears up on the wall and stuff, it's just proper industry for time gone by. And what is in that building? It's like big fans or something, eh? Here, I'll try and lean the camera in. What's in there, folks? Yeah, we can hardly even see like what is in there. Channel DJ's climbed in. It's a dangerous situation we're in, so just take your time. Okay, I'm waiting to climb in here too, folks. And it is an insane exploring environment. It's not advised to climb up there, but to see that water wheel, that's the coolest thing I've seen this year, so it's totally worth it. And to the landowner, I come with the greatest respects. Like, if something like that disappears, now the next generation can see how it looks. This bit in front of me must have been flowing water at one time. And I think there's fans or something driven off the water wheel, and that big circle there, I'm not sure what it was doing, but it looks like it's an outlet of a big fan. Anyway, do you want to try and take my camera for me? I'll climb in a bit, eh? Here we go, folks. Channel DJ slash cameraman. Legend. Get in the shots. There we go, folks. Safely navigated. That's always the important thing when you're exploring. You have to just keep it safe and keep exploring within your own means, because it's dangerous when you try and do something that you're like not capable of. Kind of like when we were climbing a bit down at Bod and the News and stuff. That's our training for areas like that. And look, there's a little chimney up there next to that building. Oh, we need to find this big chimney that's over here. We nearly forgot, folks. There's so much history here, it's incredible. It's a real adventure. Sometimes my videos end up being quite long or whatever at times, but literally we're just taking in every detail and it's on one video. People can come and go from it and watch a bit of it when they like, and again, the history will be documented there forever. Like a structure like this, it's been supported by big metal bits, and again, it could just literally fall down. Here we go, folks. We're going back around this way, so we're wanting to get to the side of that massive chimney. And an area like this looks so cool. Here, Ken, what would be interesting though, to have a look up the side of this building where that chimney is. Yeah, we'll have a quick look before we go to this other massive chimney. Yeah, I'll just have a look to see what it is. It's cool to document everything. So if I'm editing it, I'm not thinking, oh, what is that? Oh, hey, look, it's a stone column of some sort. Yeah, this is what I was saying, folks. It's like covered by the tree now, but it is just literally a stone pillar randomly. And look, there's metal brackets on the outside. Just a pillar. There's a drain there by the looks of things. What an insane scene, folks. I just didn't want to leave any stones unturned. Oh, check it out here. It's the back side of the building. All these roofs wouldn't be safe. Wow, folks, check this out. This is insane. The environment we're in right now. I'm just literally like climbing through history, and there's leads just at both sides of us. Oh, look at this. Here's a total cool as anything room. It's so lucky that I came around the way I did. This is the sort of stuff you can easily miss. This must be like a maintenance shed, or look at that, an oil heater, a small sort of one. And then look at that, an old stove. Wow. Stuff like that is so cool. Yeah, there's a lot of fixtures and fittings and stuff in there. Crazy Scottish mill, folks. Pretty much undocumented stuff like this. And the little nicks and crannies has often got the coolest stuff hidden in them. Right, folks, I got a couple of cool photographs there. That was epic. I have to watch this bit, isn't it? Like overhanging the river. Yeah, it's a solid wall. I'll be able to make it round. Here, there's a cool old boiler and stuff in there. Oh, aye. Wow, there's a hole here. Look through. That's a wide access bridge. Oh, there's steps there, but people's been throwing down like garden debris. Wow, look at this. There's a massive valve assembly. It must be from a pump. Because look, there's an intake and outlet. Look at that, folks. That's insane to see that. And look, there's a liner for the cylinder. There would have been a big piston in there. It's a bit like an engine. Or it could have even been a big engine, that. Is this a big generator shed here then? Wow. Look at this, folks. We need to come in here. We'll be able to get underneath here, no bother. So look at this, folks. This to me is worth coming in for a look. Oh wow, there's loads of bare electrical cable here we're going to have to watch out for. So never trust that it's not live. Right now I'm coming underneath the door. Wow, that was insane. Check this out, folks. We had to come in here because this is the craziest room. So look at this, folks. This is the coolest room that we've seen. Look at that there. It's an old gauge assembly there, an old control box potentially. And then look at the drive's been going out from the walls. You're better to come underneath. Look at the grease on the floor here, folks. Look, there's been more to this place. It's like an old generator shed. Check this out though, folks. Engines is one of my favourite things in the world, and to the owner of this thing, I've come with the greatest respect to look at the history of this engine. Like, it's so cool. It's one of the biggest engines I've ever seen in my life. And those parts that we saw outside are from this engine. Look at the size of that crankshaft in there. And the main bearings. Look at the oil feed pipes. Wow. Like all crank pins and journals. Here we go, it's a Paxman Ricardo. I'll try and get that on camera. Wow, what a cool engine, folks. Paxman Ricardo, Gloucestershire, England. Davy Paxman & Co Limited. And this engine's massive above my head because it doesn't even have the rocker covers and stuff on it. Look at the massive valves in there. It's got rollers which run on top of the cam as it turns. This is all oil pipes. This must be some sort of fuel pump. And look, there's the... It's a Sims. I thought they made like magnetos. Do you think this would be a petrol engine? I'm just walking through absolute crazy spider webs right here, folks. They're just all over, man. It's such a horrible feeling. But I'm just getting the footage right here. I need to take a couple of pictures of this. Look at this, folks. This has been massive governor weight. So the faster it went, the more the span out and slowed it down. That would have been the engine governor. And then the timing gear there for what must have been for the fuel. There's a separate crank there compared to like the camshaft. That must be the air intake pipe. This could be similar to the size of the engine which was at that kind of abandoned microwave station we were at, but then maybe this one's actually bigger. Wow, there's no pistons in this thing. Look at that, it's a monstrous beast. Wow. This is absolutely insane, folks. It's the coolest thing I've seen this year. Look, here's the liners. This is what goes in and the piston slides up and down. And then once you put them in, you lay these on top with the head gasket and bolt them down. And that must be injectors that come through there with the valves, inlet and outlet. That'll be a crazy powerful engine. And look, it's been driving there. And I think the main shaft's been cut, which would have gone out that way. But there's massive like bolt hubs and stuff. Often the flywheels, when they were big like that also like smoothing out the run of the engine. If the engine didn't have big flywheels like that, it would not run. Check this out, folks. This must just be like the old entrance. Oh, there's been control boxes and stuff here. Yeah. What a crazy thing. Oh, wait. That's a bit of a pulley or something. Wow. I'll get a picture for this angle too. So there we go, folks. Once again, we've recorded another crazy bit of abandoned history, which was just like a spontaneous adventure. Look, that must be the valve springs, or some sort of spring related to the engine. I would have thought the valve springs would have been bigger than that. Oh, I think that there is the thing that was inside. See that housing on the floor? the governor was like inside that, I think. I'll head round this way, folks, see what's here. Yeah, there's maybe been a fuel pipe and stuff coming in at this side. I'm wanting to just take in every detail before I vacate this property, because engines like this are few and far between. To document one here, it's just been so cool. I think the governor was inside that at one time and that was bolted up there, but I could be wrong with that. I'm not an expert on this engine, obviously, because it's the first time I've seen it in my life. Check out this too, this must be the mechanism for engaging it and disengaging it. That looks like a big clutch assembly. Wow. Look at that, folks. Or it could be governors as well around there, look. The more it spins, the farther open it pulls that. So I'm not, wow, the shadow there is just at a poor angle, I just realised. Yeah, the further open that moves, it must operate itself like it's a mechanical governor. Anyway, let's carry on. We're just theorising, folks, if that pulley was running, that's come from the water wheel, and it's been coming to these gears, and we're just thinking they may have started the engine using the water wheel. And that could have been potentially an option that they had back then. That's crazy. Look, there's one of the bearing assemblies that's still there, which is a rare thing. All the other ones are gone. Oh, recently somebody's been trying to turn over. Crazy. Crazy, folks. Anyway, we'll head back out to the owner of this engine and this shed. Like, we've come just to document the history and we're on our way. Here, do you think that's the fuel tanks up there or something? I was just thinking. See, there's maybe been an electrical generator here. Because look, there's mounts on the floor. That would make more sense. Obviously, the engine was definitely mounted onto a generator. So maybe they could use the engine for the power or the water wheel, depending on what they were needing. They had options. And these beams will be probably for winching the heavy items into place when they're assembling it. And that's like what I saw at the stone crushing place when they had cut the beams off. Kind of originally the beams potentially just had hooks for manoeuvring the stuff on. And I love to see that as well. That's like what I saw in the Isle of Woolen mill. Again, they had beams with pulleys and stuff on them. But it looks like some of the locals have been chilling out in here. It's probably their shed. Oh look, that's a wee engine with two handles. Oh, again what this is, folks, we've just found. This is the starting engine for that. You probably fire up and then you hold the handles. Firing order 1342 it says on it. That's the sort of stuff they used to tell you about then. Look at this massive drive shaft on the floor. Yeah, this engine here has just got two handles. So I was thinking it could be like some old starter assembly. You put it on and then brup, 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 it turns away. Wow, look at these old lids, folks. It's been maybe on top of the, if there's been pipes on the outside of this building. Insane. This must have been where the maintenance guy kind of had stuff. Yeah, there's so much grease and stuff on the floor, but that gives this place the character. It's incredible. Anyway, folks, I'm going to come back out below this door, so I'll update you. This is insane, folks. Look, there's been an old bridge here over the sluice. This is where we were at the other side of this a minute ago. Is there just a hollow bore here? We're going for it, folks. I might fall into a pit. Yeah, that's where we saw that drive shaft going. This one here. Yeah. That's literally the one in the engine shed. I'm so glad I had a wee look in. So that's been my favourite building so far at this whole site. We love engines and industrial history like that on the channel. It's not always just like wartime or kind of abandoned wildernesses. Sometimes there's nuggets like this just hidden and ready to be recorded. And every week we try and go to new places on the videos, folks. It's insane that we keep finding so many. Like that sluice mechanism, hundreds of years old. Look, there's been a little wooden bridge there, or a little ladder down. It's crazy, folks. We're doing the parkour route once again across the top of this. And then it would be so interesting, but I don't trust how solid it is.
No.
It'd be so cool. That must be the slope that comes out the wall.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't
Yeah.
know if it's too low.
I think though when they closed mine, we saw that that was a controllable sluice at this side of the wheel. If they closed that, the water would need to go over there, and it must have come fleeing out the wall. See that, folks? We're reading the history from seeing what's lying about.
Have the electricity on it?
Yeah, all the buildings have got electrical wires. And then, yeah, we're still on the way to that massive chimney, folks. It's a crazy environment we're in. It's one of my favourite things to do, just explore somewhere I've never been before, and it's like, wow. Like, it probably, I don't even know if it comes across in the video, when you're in the heart of a place like this, it's like mind-blowing. You can imagine how it was when it was a busy place, hustling and bustling, probably noisy with all the mechanisms. Look at the size of this thing. Wow, look at that, folks. There's a massive cast iron looking thing there. What does that even mean? Yeah, old oil drums and stuff. And then down there, look, I can see there's an old cast iron piece with a tap and a strange metal bit on the wall. Oh, there's a pulley. Wow, we're now at the other side of this building, folks. Oh look, we'll be able to see down there. Wow, this is... what an angle this is down here, folks. Wow, look at the size of those pipes and stuff down there.
This is like another secondary wheel.
Look at that, aye. That's like some massive pulley systems, and it's like another wheel almost there. Is that one of those
water
old...
would go down and into that
Here,
pipe.
it must be a turbine.
Yeah.
It must be a turbine system. Just that ladder, it's not connected at the bottom, but it doesn't look bad. I think we could do it. But I'm just gonna like visualise, we're gonna have a look here, folks. We're not gonna just march into danger without scrutinising it first. Yeah, it would be so interesting to go and have a look at this. Are you coming down? Look at this, folks. I'm going down here, but I'm being totally aware that there's potential for us to have no firm, like, footing underneath. I need to get back up here. But look at this. This is something like I've never seen before. Look at this solid cement here. Oh, this railing must have been for maybe maintaining it. The boy would have come down. Wow, this is so incredible. See, with stuff like this, folks, AKR channel historian would be the man to answer what a lot of this stuff did. Shout out if you're watching this video, channel historian. This would be right up your street. Wow, check this out here. I've come onto the top of this bit of tin for safety, but there's a big valve here which is operated with that, which must be a tap, and it must have been controlling the water dumping out potentially this direction. Yeah, because we thought that was a massive pulley down there, but in hindsight it's a bit of tin. Oh look, it's controlled from inside that building. And then look at this interesting fact here. I really need to go over here, folks, and video this and speak about it, because look, this is variable vanes on the end of here. The more this lever turns, the further open that the flaps become. And like, wow, imagine getting to record this. It's like, never seen before. Look at this. This would have been the lever that operated up and down, and then these would have tilted, probably to relieve the water force on the turbines which are within this housing. And it's similar to the Ballantyre turbine, but this one's on a mega structure. And there's obviously been another pipe there dumping away.
And that hole in the wall was slung on.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Like it's high as fuck. Up here.
Whoa. Aye.
That's it there. like it's had a gate on it or something.
Look at this, folks. There's been big cast iron. Look, there's handles there, and they open those cast iron loops. This is insane, folks. We're just climbing about on history, and there's probably been a floor above my head at one time. And then look, there's been a drive shaft or something going through that round hole. Yeah, that there is what we saw from the outside. It is strange, because there's actually a slot in front of it. Maybe there has been water dumping there from somewhere. There's a massive bolt sticking out the wall. What an insane structure, folks. I'm right on top of this massive like twin turbine right now, and like what is even going on right now, folks? I'm gonna get a few photos. Alright folks, I'll make my way down around here. Once again, if anybody comes, they have to stay safe, because I would say certain times this could be deep and boggy. It's crazy the size of all the plinth and stuff that they mounted this on. And even this structure alone, it's just such a piece of history. It'd be so cool to save stuff like this. The only way I can save it is by taking these photographs though and videos. So this place just keeps getting cooler and cooler, folks, with stuff like that. Let's see what's through this round hole. Oh look, there's a big drive shaft there. Look at the size of that, eh? What? I'm gonna have to go along here to get this on video. Wow. Look at this. I'm staying safe standing on this tin, but look how thick this drive shaft is. And look how big this piece of cast is here as well. It's absolutely insane. Wow. I'm going to lay that bit of tin back up there, folks, because that will actually protect the rain from going onto the mechanism and the bearing. Wow, I might actually get a photograph of this. So that just shows you, folks, that's been spinning round and fleeing at high speed, probably making a loud noise. But then the water from the turbine must have been dumping down the way. And I just wonder if it goes down there where that pipe is, and then it maybe comes back up here, or it maybe dumps out into the river. But there is all these other insane like mechanisms, and it's been so cool just to have a look at that and take as many photos of it as I could there, just without taking too long down here. Channel DJ's up here waiting on me. It's been dangerous to climb down. It's cool to see this from the other side as well. So many layers of history, folks, and now it's just gone. I just realised that was a different bit that I climbed through there to where I went down. Here we are, folks, real adventures. It's appealing to my parkour side once again, folks, climbing on these abandoned wonders, exploring them and documenting the last of the history. When you see how deep that is, you have to think under our feet right now there could be anything. A dangerous drop. Yeah, there's been stairs leading in there. That must be the controls for the turbine house in there. And that must be a two-storey building as well. We're just taking it all in, folks. We're still making our way to this chimney stack, and it's been crazy the amount of history we've seen on the way. Look at all these drive shafts sticking out of the wall. Absolutely insane, like massive history. The engine was so cool, and then also so was that turbine unit and stuff was just epic. And look at this above our heads. There's been other bits of the build now. Oh, here's the chimney, folks. Look at the size of this beast. It's absolutely massive. Here, we could have a look out that side, because it looks like a yard there to the chimney, so we'll see what's round here before we head round. Aye, so many oil drums, eh? Crazy. It's been maybe just, I don't know what they were doing fully in this site here with the mill and stuff, but this could have been storerooms or other rooms related to that. This is crazy, there's big metal frames and stuff lying down there. Must have been little parts of the building, because that leads down to somewhere. There could have been other little water wheels or anything. Here's a gate through here that's open. Look at that, there's some mechanism sitting in the long grass. It's an old tractor plough. Plough for a vintage tractor, look at it. It's grown right into the tree. That is insane. That right there is the sort of history that we love. He's parked it there and the trees are growing up through it, and that's been 60 or 70 years maybe since that day, and now it's part of the tree. All these buildings I believe were parts of the mill, but I think now some of them are private houses, private residences. Look, this could have been water pipes and stuff. And then look, here's a big mill wheel. This is insane, folks. I'm just keeping the camera rolling because there's so much. It is a strange little corner building there to that though. And then here's the chimney. It's absolutely huge standing in this area of land. This is crazy, folks. It's so cool that I can take YouTube along on the journey with me. Today the weather's so hot. I've got the coat on, but that's just so I've got pockets to carry like the camera and all the other stuff. I like to safely carry like my car key. Wow, check it out. It's got like a proper stone base, and then the top of it's like red brick. Whoa, that's just like falling in. Probably quite recently. Oh, what has that been? Is that for the draft of the chimney? Wow, folks. A structure like this is just so impressive. What an impressive structure it is, folks, and we finally made it. We could see this from such a long way away, and if it wasn't for this cool structure, we wouldn't have found all this other amazing abandoned history that we've seen in today's video up until this point. This has become a long explore through all this abandoned history, but it's because we keep on finding so much. It's such an interesting site. Oh wow, look. All that debris in there must have fallen down the chimney over the years. And maybe the ground around this was a lot lower as well back then. And then look, there's the River Ericht driving, flowing past us, I mean, folks. I'm going to have to change out the battery soon on this, folks, because it's literally down to 5%. Look, we've come as far as this mains water pipe. Look down there, that's probably a current water pipe. Yeah, look at the character of this. It's almost been like it's been houses for a while, but it's maybe just been to do with the mills and other industrial structures around here. This might have been their old coal shed or something. A lot of the doors are screwed shut now. What's round that side? Oh, it's like a private residence here. Yeah, folks, we always come with the greatest respects. I've said it already on the video and throughout this adventure. But look at the old stone hexagon shaped wall which has been around, or is it an octagon? There we go, folks. It's an octagon shape, but the wall's also that old stone, the same as the chimney further up. What I've seen, the buildings are just sky high, all directions. It's like walking about in Scotland's Chernobyl. Yeah, these are these spiky, horrible bushes. Cheers for that. Yeah, look at this. These have been built at different times. Ah, that was so painful, folks, those bushes. That's been little outside, maybe dunnies, kind of like the shite house. And that could have been maybe a house at a certain period. Because you would think maybe even in the 1960s and 70s, this wouldn't have been in such bad condition. Oh, look at this, there's a window open here. I don't know how safe the structure is. Oh, look. vintage push bikes, folks. What a scene we're dealing with once again right here. Look at this, the old fireplace. Wow, this structure's no safe, like. It's actually a high building. But look at that little fireplace and stuff. See, I don't think there's much to see really. It's quite dangerous to go in buildings like that when there's nothing really to see. Those upstairs, look, the beams are not even connected at the ends. Could fall down at any moment. And the interior walls have been knocked down as well, which makes it structurally like weak. And we consider everything these adventures. There's a bumblebee flying round. Yeah, this is a private residence up the back as well. Yeah. See, so that fire and stuff, the way it looks like it's been ripped out, it looks like it could be older than 1950s. Mind, I was saying, that could have been a house, but it could have been from way back in the day. Any time period. There's a little window there I'm going to have a wee look in. Check this out, folks, a wee room. Oh wait! Like a wee larder or storeroom. Or, look, it's got frosted glass. It's maybe what they did on little ladders. That'll be how they've put that small larder under the steps. It'll be because, like, it doesn't matter what sort of view you get out the window. Look, the old blinds are still up there. There is some cool old details of history, but yeah, it's structurally, because there's no windows, the rain's just going right in there, and that's how all the wood inside there is just gone. Almost fully gone. This place has just been surprise after surprise though, folks, so yeah, I'm about to just change the battery in the camera and then we'll get back on this adventure. So here we go, folks, we're going to just keep on going around here and see what else we see as we try and make our way back out to a certain degree. Look at that big cast iron tube there, or pipe. The amount of old history which is just lying, it could be for anywhere on the site. Oh, what is that? Loads of little rails. Looks like it's been for wire or wool or something like that. Piles of them dumped. See, that could have come for a later time as well. Some of these pipes are seriously big. They must have come from somewhere around the site. The size of this site, it's just literally mind blowing. Here, have we been up there through that arch? Will we go for a look that way? Look at this, folks, I thought I would just peek my head round the corner here as I was walking past, just to see what's left. I thought there might have been a wheel pit or something there, but the history's too far gone. Yeah, but we were thinking there might be something cool in this stone arch, because I can't even mind if we've been in that section. Looks like because of this dike, this has been a main yard here behind us, and then they've been going out and in. And then here, there must be some sort of shed underneath the ground there, related to the chimney. Because that must have been how they loaded it up. Because there's obviously no sign of much else at the top. Wow. This is a real abandoned wilderness right here, folks. Yeah, like there's been an old wrangle or some sort of winching system in there. That tree's growing out of what must have been an old wash house or something, or some sort of old building. We're just blown away right now. Look at this building's hood. Look at the old electrical switch, the old light switch. Nah. Oh, there's water. What does it say? Yeah, it's just inside that bit there. That must have been a door out of this place through to the yard, where we were at the other side of a wee while ago. Look at this, folks. Crazy history once again. This old bike frame here, from a vintage period in time. Just check that out. What a unit. The old handbrake with the rod brakes leading down. And look at these old stairs. Going up here, wow. What has this even been? I think there's a house up here, so I'm being respectful. I'm not wanting to go in anyone's like private property. What has this even been here, folks? Oh, it's just been like a bit of a dump. There's just some random stuff in it. Wow, it's just crazy bits of like the mill. And the original door into the mill. Oh, that was where I was looking through at the thingy. Look at this, folks. This mill, this must have been a main entrance. Look at this. This is like the turbine rotors, which would have been inside that turbine that we saw. So it was so worth coming up here. This is insane. This here, folks, is the old turbine rotors. And look, that must be the housing. And look, the wear on these steps shows you how busy that this had been. Here, the turbines is here out of that turbine house. Aye. They look like turbines out of like a turbo compressor, but of a massive scale. So I'll get a couple of pictures and then I'll be doing. This must have been into a room, Ken. There would have been a floor right there. And the old turbine's down there, I can see it. So they've managed to get all this equipment up here. Or this could have been spare turbines. Because you can see they look like they're bent. But then it may have been that shape on purpose for the strength. Crazy, folks. What a scene, folks. It's so cool just to imagine the speed these would be fleeing around, powered by the water. I was just thinking I could look at the fins on this, and look, the fins on this one are not bent at all. Whereas it looks like on this one, something's been inside maybe when it's been spinning. Because the edge of those has got that crease. Not unless the two rotors were designed different, obviously. Because one will be kind of taking the water in and one will be throwing it back out. So there might be a different shape for that reason. Wow, there's more history. This is the sort of place, the more places you look, the more you see. And I'm so glad that I brought the second battery for the GoPro so we didn't miss any of these details. It's a long video, folks, but it's interesting. It's cool history and it's worth just putting it all in the one video to document it. See up here, they've got the wood, and that was to often stop the snow falling off the roof back in the day and landing on stuff down here, or landing on people's heads. This has been a proper urbex movie today, folks. Real urban exploration, but it's been like industrial exploration. And it is crazy the variation of stuff, like the size of that chimney and like getting to see that massive rotors and that impeller. And the big engine, the big turbines, you name it, folks, the big water wheel, the abandoned buildings. Like in this video, it's just been such a cool like episode. It's been so cool to see all this and video it. Words can't even describe it. Like everywhere I'm looking, I'm seeing old sinks and stuff. It's like each one of them is like an item of history, just about lost to nature and time. Because in a place like this you see so much all at once, it's hard just to take in every detail. But it is getting to the time of year now where it's lighter, so it's easier to go exploring more, but places like this will get too overgrown when the weather gets better. Look at the big hinge brackets there. There's been big doors on this opening. Yeah, that's the door, the big door up there that I was standing inside. That's where the impellers are sitting. Oh, I can actually see that drive shaft must be above your head when you're in that room. But see, from the wear on the stairs, that's been a seriously busy corridor or part of the building. What does that say on it there? It's hard to read. I can't even read that one. Here we are, folks, once again climbing through this entranceway. Look at this, the way they've shaped all this. The detail, the gate alone is something special. It's not the sort of thing you would want to get, kind of like climb over and get impaled on. It's proper sharp. Because me and the channel DJ have witnessed somebody getting impaled on a fence before, haven't we? Real thing happened, folks. Always be safe climbing over metal spikes for sure. That's the door. We were at the other side of a minute ago, and it must have been like a main route into there for the workings of the mill or the turbine. This could have been where they made the power to power the mill with the electric.
This isn't just a staircase.
Oh, aye. Yeah, there's been something under there, eh? It's maybe buried just under my feet. Yeah. Maybe all this was fitted for them putting the engine in. Oh look, it's had a little hinge there. Yeah, that's the old engine shed in there. It's been cool to see this, folks. I've not ever seen any of that documented on YouTube before. Maybe some of the buildings and that, but not the engines and the turbines and all that cool historical wonders. It looks like the road goes to the private premises at that side. And this is us back on the road we walked in on, like initially. Those buildings are from back in the day when they had little chimney pots and stuff. Little coal fires. It's insane. This has been where they've been generating the power, obviously. Maybe this has been stores and then the power. And then the first bit we saw when we were exploring the mill was like the main area where they were like working the grain or milling the wheat, whatever they did. And it's so cool. I'm just keeping the camera rolling once again, folks. And yeah, we might see some details on the way out that we missed. The boy's got his TV area all the way up there on a stack, look. Sometimes in Scotland, folks, with the lie of the land, you don't get a good TV signal unless you do stuff like that. Look at that, folks. Shout out Westfield Fruit Farm. I reckon in the summer you must be able to come here and pick your own or something like that. All the shed doors are numbered. Such a nice little area. If anybody comes to look at the old buildings, they have to come with respect to like the landowner and stuff. Okay, we do no damage when we come to places like this. We've just literally looked at the history. Now we're on our way. And like, if any of that gets lost or trees fall and knock it down, or if anything gets scrapped or moved, you can see how it used to be one time when the mill was in its prime. You can get an idea. And it's almost like travelling back in time and seeing what stuff was like back then. We never even have stuff like that. Those turbines, such a mega system to have, and a lot of normal companies like mills and that didn't even have stuff like that nowadays. It's lost technology which was on a mega scale. So cool to explore. It's like a Scottish Chernobyl at times with all those buildings. Yeah, nature growing back through it. The moss on the rocks. Look at this, folks. These power cables here, I think these date back to the time when the mill was still in use, because I've seen them right along this whole path that we're on. They've been cut off further along, but that is like the same area we saw the power going in. So there is ancient history right the way along this. And I think if you continue on down the river, there's a place called Cargill's Leap, which was like a famous soldier or something. We saw it on the sign back there. But I'm sure the story goes he was a famous soldier and he was getting chased by troops in the 1600s, and he managed to jump across the river from one rock to the other. Check this out, folks. We've just stumbled upon another, like, what is this? Oh hi, look, there's a wee tunnel coming out of there. We'll have to go for the adventure, folks. There's actually a lot of bird doo-doos down here because it looks like there's crows in the trees above us. Yeah, I thought that was an opening, but it's not. Check the history here, folks. There's a wee bridge. But I was just recording to see what this was. These trees have blown down in the recent storms, but the trees here are covered with the thick coating of ivy. What an adventure. These walls have all been built at a time to hold the land, maybe in the 17 or 1800s. And then look at this route, the way it's broken off and fanned down. It's like walking about in an absolute wonderland around here, folks. It's like going to a set of a movie that's better than you can even imagine. Wow. This is insane. Yeah, the bridge. Oh, the old, it's like a chimney that somebody's converted. Oh, aye, another one of those sluices. Oh, this must be the mill here, which that original sluice was feeding. They often took it from quite high up the river to get the power of water by the time it reached the mill. And there'll be another water wheel down here somewhere. Look at this, folks, there's been more mills. Here, look over there, there's been a water wheel. Here, this lead goes under there, and there's been more water wheels there. That looks like a private residence. But I recognise this from an old photo I've seen of Blairgowrie. And in here, there's a massive water wheel, folks. So once again, before the end of this video, we're blown away by the history. Look at that, the massive balconies. That would be so nice to live in a house like that. Oh yeah, up there you can see the mills that we were exploring earlier. And you can see the part of the river we were thinking of climbing round. All these padlocks, folk, have been put here for lovers and stuff. Oh, it tells you the name of the mills.
Loads of them.
Insane, folks. That shows you the number of mills there, all the way to the Bridge of Cali. This is a mill-rich area.
Is that where they are, or is that where they are? That must be where they are, eh?
Footbridge, yeah. And we'll be looking, that must be the Bramblebank Works we looked at, and maybe the Westfield Mill.
Yeah.
Likely. Could have been that.
And then across was that big building, eh?
Yeah, it's insane. That's true.
And then that's the Oakbank Mill, and then there's just another one just up there, eh?
With stuff like that, folks, you might be able to like pause the video and then have a proper read of it. Here, wait a minute, let them pause the video, bro.
That's a wheel, eh?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say in the video now. There's a weir being built up there, which is to keep ahead of water at the top of the sluice gate. Yeah. And that's how they had the lead away up there, powering down to what must have been a water wheel down there. And I can see somebody chilling up on the balcony down there, and that's because it's such a crazy spot. And look down here at this water wheel. There's a little access door on the side, but I don't know if we'd get down there. The whole thing's been built, massive ancient construction. And look at the size of this gear. There's a big bevel gear on the wall of this building, folks, and it's absolutely insane. Look at this, folks. I'm wanting to have a proper look of this mill water wheel, and I'm keeping it safe. There's proper steps and stuff here. I don't think many people come down here now, but I'm literally just documenting the history. This is all washed out here. Yeah, check the steps, check the stuff. What an insane spot this is. Yeah, look at this, we've made it. I had to come and have a look at this, folks. It's not advised that anybody comes down like that off the bridge and stuff, but look at this old railing and stuff, and the character of that. And the old water wheel. Because this one's exposed, it has had a roof at one time, but unfortunately all the wood's rotted off it mostly. Look, there is some internal pieces, but also look, there's some of the cradles left as well. And look, another detail. See, there's been a sluice like what we saw on the other water wheel further up the valley, and they must have been able to control the flow of the water.
The water must have been high at some point for it to come this way.
Yeah, and it must have been going into the top, so it was flowing and then turning. And then look at the size of this massive gear. That bevel gear goes inside the building.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy history, folks. And it's real adventure. Try to get to a place like this and document it. See it before it's gone forever. Because you can see it from a distance, but actually seeing it up close is the coolest thing. Sometimes little gears like this were used to like pump little oil pumps and stuff to lubricate the systems. There's a massive flywheel at the side of the building on there, or it could be like a belt drive. Wow, the size of that structure is so impressive. That shaft must go straight to there, and look, there's just bevel gears galore and crazy apparatus. So it looks like this sluice mechanism, folks, was broken away from its original position. I think these railings and stuff's all been connected to it at one time. This is the sort of history though, it's absolutely insane to see. And it's probably no turned for a long time. Look at this folks, look at the size of that shaft and the pinion gear through there. It's absolutely wild. Wow. So amazing. Is that's a drive shaft or something going up there as well? Or maybe that's just supporting it. Because there would have been a serious force on these rocks. I can see there's metal bracing and metal support. Yeah, unfortunately all the wood here is just gone. Busted. But look, you can see the way that the old water wheel is keyed on there. With the pins, that's where the pins are in, look, holding it. And just think all this was assembled. Think of the weight and the size of that shaft. All these pieces were put together, and it would have been a big industry in its day, the water wheel industry. And this week we find ourselves right in the heart of one. And just imagine this when it was all painted and brand new and looking shiny and well maintained. It was just such an incredible structure, and you could never have stood here. But yet here we are today folks, documenting history on this channel like never before. Keeping it safe, but taking in every detail. And that'll be more bits of the sluice down there. Wow folks, so yeah, that shows you slightly different ways that they've taken the power from the water wheels. And I think this would have been covered over at one time. There's maybe parts of the roof and stuff down in there, and maybe in storms the water will still come down here. If the water's coming around the top of that. Look at this old cement, sorry not cement, the old stone lintel. The way that ivy grows over stuff at the riverside often gives it so much character. Look folks, this is the lead. This must have been the overflow for the lead. Yeah, there's the feed into the water wheel with the mechanism of the lead. And then look how much work they've done. Looks like they've dug out the stone and then built this massive area. Some of that's bedrock as well. They've dug it and then built it. And there would have been a serious flow of water coming round. Yeah, crazy scenes once again. Yeah folks, so down there it's just loads of litter and stuff that's been dumped. Up there there's massive beams and stuff sticking out the wall. So crazy. We'll just head on out of this spot. It's been cool to see this mill and document all those gears and pulleys and systems. So look, I can actually see a gear at the top above the water wheel. I never noticed that before folks. Yeah, there's a gear at the top which drives across. They've had options, I think. Yeah, there's so much wear on those teeth as well. I never noticed that when I was in. That gear which is on top, there's so much wear, so it shows this mill's been working and working. And maybe even once it was shut, when the water was coming round here, it might have been turning and just wearing out, because it was no longer maintained. So here we go folks, leaving this historical wonder in peace until the next urban explorer comes round. Probably the history will be more worn and more degraded by that time. Look at that, the little window. At one time you could have probably looked into there and that would have been the water wheel shed. And it was probably a well used little stair up there. And I think there'd been a bridge there and it's gotten washed away. And then this is a new bridge. Crazy folks, it's almost like going to a museum when you see a thing like this. Real history right here on the channel folks, real adventures. And I think we'd be as well heading back up towards where we're parked, I think now. When I see something like that though folks, I had to go down for a look. And the wear on those teeth on the drive shaft, I didn't notice that when I was standing in the wheel pit, but that's been used so much that it's worn the teeth just about fully away. And probably the mill got to a stage like that, it was just like needing maintained, and you would have to change the wheels, like the gears. Wow folks, anyway, let's continue this adventure. Yeah, there's another building or something up there. I think there's private residents stay around this place, like people's houses, I mean. Yeah, this bridge is covered in padlocks, folks. There's another bridge like that at Blairgowrie too that I've seen. Here, that could be that, what's the thing called? The boy that leaped over the stone. That looks like the sort of area there he might have been able to do it. It almost looks like a what do you call it, a waterfall. Crazy folks, what a scene. I always say it in the videos, but I'm always blown away. The places we keep finding, like, they're just mind-blowing old historical wonders. Yeah, being able to see them up close like that and safely explore them, document them for the world to see, like how big the Scottish mill industry was around this Blairgowrie area for a long time. Like the amount of work that went in, even for the ledge. Then both sides, there's mills, there's ledge. In the River Ericht here, whoa, there's a squirrel just came fleeing out of that bush as I'm recording. I don't even know if it came out in the camera. But yeah, it shows you the River Ericht. It's powering all this stuff. It's like free energy. The power of the river. Every day it's flowing. But now those mills are gone, the river's still flowing. The power could still be getting used, but now there's no water wheels, and that sort of stuff just goes to waste in the modern world. Right folks, that's been a total epic adventure into history, through history, recording incredible abandoned nuggets just near Blairgowrie here. It's the mill scene, like abandoned mill, architecture, history, and we've seen so much from one video. Water wheels, turbines, crazy old things like that, and all those buildings. It's mind-blowing history, but we'll be back very soon with the next adventure like this. I'll end this one here. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye for me. Goodbye for the channel DJ. We'll see you very soon, folks.